You suck, your business sucks, and you'll never be successful. How many people paid you $5,000? You ever lied to anybody? Okay, real quick. Anything you see in here? It's over, bro. What's your belief system? You're married, yes, to a woman, or you let your wife wear pants? When I ask you for something and you don't give it to me, are you knowing that you're lying to me?
Lying?
You cannot move being this comfortable. But you be in the crib and your drawers just like, hey, yo. My job is to make you fail. My job is to make you quit. My job is to make you cry. But if you survive it, success is on the other side. Hey.
Hola.
What's going on?
Nothing much.
Yanni?
Yes.
You lied to me one day.
I did. It came up, and then I felt bad immediately after.
Did you know she lied to me one day? You want to tell them the scenario?
Yeah, I'll tell them.
Okay, tell us the story. JD, you can sit down. You're going to want to hear this because your co-host be lying.
Can I look to them or after?
No, just look at me.
Okay. So what had happened was I was editing the clips, and then I look on YouTube and I see it wasn't the video that I was editing. So then I'm like, oh snap. So then I knew we had the meeting. So I said, okay, after the meeting, I'm gonna do it because I was up all night. And then
He's in the streets?
never that. Never that. So then after the meeting, I said, okay, I fell asleep. That's what happened. I fell asleep and my phone was on D&D and you called me and you asked where the clips were. And then I panicked because I knew you said you wanted the clips to be done before the day they're supposed to, before the release day. So then you said, where are the clips? And then I was like, I just woke up. And
anytime you got to keep reiterating that you just woke up, that's what we're basing the error off of.
That was okay. No, really, the main problem is I struggle with doing stuff last minute. That's really what it is. And I've been doing well, but I slipped up, and then I lied. I tried to cover it, and then you FaceTimed me, asking to see me edit, and then I said nah.
What else have you lied about?
That's really honestly it.
That's it? Okay. It happens.
That's really it. But yeah, that's something I'm trying to get over, doing stuff last minute. And I was actually telling Trey that I feel like me growing up, watching my dad, we will always do everything last minute. Like if I have somewhere I need to go, my dad's gonna wait. He's gonna take his shower 5 minutes before we need to leave. He's gonna stop at the gas station. He's gonna stop by his friend's house. And it's just, I mean, I'm not trying to make an excuse because I know that I need to get over it, but yeah.
What do you plan on doing about it?
So I have like a schedule. So I know that if this is due on this day, then I need to have it done 2 days before. But then I end up doing everything around that and I never get to it. Yeah. So I try to make plans and stuff.
If you don't get that under control, what do you think may happen?
I know it's going to affect me. In business, my personal life.
It will. How are you feeling?
Right now?
Just period. How do you feel in your life? Where you're at in your...
I feel like I'm growing. I know I'm growing actually. And I know I'm growing because certain things I used to deal with and stuff like that, I'm over that now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like I do better with my consistency in my clothing brand. So I used to deal with like not posting on social media, but now it's like I post all the time on there now.
Okay.
And even like in my personal lives, I'm more intentional on, I used to not do well with keeping up with my family and stuff, but now I'm more intentional about that. So I'm just working on being more intentional.
Gotcha. All right, so you have your clothing line, Wise Label, right? And I don't think I've ever seen anyone else wear a shirt.
Besides Trey.
Trey, yeah, because he had the bedazzle situation. And that was one. That was one.
I wear it sometimes.
You're really the only person I see wearing the brand.
Yeah, that's because I don't have no clothes on there. I had a drop earlier this year. I had a winter drop. It was a pre-order. That was in February. But then after I sold those clothes, I never dropped again.
Why?
Yet this year.
Why? Did you have a really good idea for the brand, or is it just something you just want to do just because?
I have a really good idea.
What is it?
I want to help all like young adults, Christian young adults, go to a relationship with God. And I have this vision of just building a strong community of young adults that can feel like they're not going through the world by themselves, and they could feel like they have people.
How do you help young adults build a relationship with God?
So I used to do Bible studies. Mm-hmm. I just recently stopped doing that because now I'm focused on my own relationship with God. Gotcha. And then I'll do that again. But I have a Discord chat, and in there I'll send motivational, inspirational Bible verses and word of the days. Mm-hmm. And
so who is God?
Who is God? Jesus. Jesus is God.
Is Jesus God? Mm-hmm. How do you know?
Because I experienced him in my own personal life.
Well, some people, if you're in a certain part of the world, they'll tell you that Buddha is God. And I would ask them, hey, how do you know Buddha's God? And they'll say, well, I experienced him. Mm-hmm. So who's right?
Me.
And they're wrong? Mm-hmm. So anybody that's Buddhist is wrong?
Yeah, just like how there's only one truth. Just because you have an opinion on something, somebody else has an opinion on something, both of them can't be right because there's only one truth.
But you're right for sure. Mm-hmm. Okay. There are Muslims that believe that Allah is God, and they don't believe that Jesus is God. Mm-hmm. Who's right?
Me.
You sure? Mm-hmm. Would you tell one of them that?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Okay. So how do you know that Jesus is God? Outside of the feeling of experience, because everybody feels and experiences.
Okay. Well, I could say through my personal life, I've seen him, how he's helped me.
You've seen Jesus?
Not seen him with my eyes, but I see like through my experience.
But I'm saying everybody has that experience. I mean, how do we know it's not something that your mind made up? Or you may be in a situation, let's say, for instance, and I've done this before in college, not now, but you ever had a little too much to drink and you wake up in a terrible, terrible experience, like you just feel horrible. And you say, God, Jesus, if you get me through this, I will never, ever drink again.
I've did something like that before.
Did you drink again after that?
It wasn't drinking, but
it was smoking?
Maybe
edibles?
Not. Maybe not.
You leading people to Jesus eating edibles? I'm just playing. My point is,
the Bible, that's the answer.
Good. Okay. How do you know the Bible is a factual book? Because you're saying the person you believe in, this book is why I believe. But they also have the Quran and they're saying this God I believe in. And this is a factual book. Who's right?
Oh, I know.
Ooh, here we go.
I know. Because other religious texts mention Jesus. My book doesn't mention any other God.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
the Quran mentions Jesus as a prophet, but
right. So that book is saying that yes, this person was a person, but he was a prophet.
Yeah.
The Bible says that Jesus is God, but even a lot of Christians don't believe that Jesus is God. They believe he's the Son of God.
I believe he's both. Son of God. In the beginning was the Word was God, and the
yes, for sure.
Yeah, came flesh. So.
But in the Old Testament, there was no Jesus. There was only Jehovah.
Okay.
So you said it only mentions one God.
No, I said that the Bible doesn't mention other people's God. It doesn't mention Buddha.
It mentions Satan. Okay, you know there are Satanists too. There are people who believe in Satan, and they will say, well, I believe in Satan because the Bible mentions Satan.
Yeah, but the Bible doesn't say Satan's. Just because it mentions him doesn't mean that he's God.
He is a God.
He is a God. That's why the Bible says to not conform to the world. Because
So prove to me that the Bible is a factual book.
there's prophecies and stuff that's ooh.
I know there are 100%. I'm asking you to tell me though.
There's something. See, this is what I'm actually going to start studying more.
Get in your word. That's why we're having this conversation.
Yes, because I know like text, like I can recite some Bible verses and stuff, but I don't know much about like the history and stuff. Like I know there's prophecies that's taking place and stuff like that, but I can't list them specific.
It's important to know them though, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, especially you're basing your whole faith off of it.
Yeah.
And if you give someone incorrect information, I was having a conversation with somebody, and he started telling this story about how Moses was split in the Red Sea. And he said that he lifted up his hands and he split the Red Sea, and someone was holding up his hands because his arms got tired. Mm-hmm. And as long as he held his arms up, then the Red Sea was open and everybody could walk through. But he was actually mixing two stories. That story didn't actually happen. Mm-hmm. Like it was like a battle that was being fought, and as Moses lifted up his hands, then his side was winning. But if he dropped them, his side was losing. It's in the Bible. But he started mixing up the stories, and that could be considered being a false prophet.
Yeah.
Because it's not true what you're saying. And if we say something that's not true, we could be considered a false prophet. And there's a lot of texts about false prophets in the Bible. Mm-hmm. So tell me about the clothing brand.
So I started my brand in 2021, and when I first started it, I didn't really have like a meaning behind it, like how I do now, like a strong meaning. But like, or I would say around the end of.
You have a strong meaning to it?
Yeah. Brand mission, rather.
But you're not promoting it though.
I do.
You don't even have none.
I promote it on social media.
You don't have no apparel like that.
I know. That's the only thing.
That's the only thing. I be promoting it. I don't got nothing to sell nobody, but that's the only thing wrong because I ain't got nothing. If I did.
I know. I'm going to drop something.
So do you really care about this brand?
I do. I feel like I just don't care about the clothes part.
Okay.
I care about the brand. I like building the community and helping people and, spreading God's word. It's just, I don't really care about the clothes that much. That's probably why I'm procrastinating so much.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. So maybe we should just not focus on the clothing or what?
Yeah, but then it's like, I want my brand to be my future, like to produce income and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I know that the clothes will generate income in my brand.
If you build it.
If I build it, yeah.
But if you don't, it won't.
Right.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about having an idea that you're really excited about, that I'm sure you told somebody God gave you this message, and you just don't do anything with it?
I mean, I do stuff in the brand.
Do you?
Yes.
Like?
Okay, so I promote it all the time. I help people. Even when people like come in my Discord chat where I'm building up the community at, I help people in there. So I'm very active in my brand. It's just the clothes I'm not selling.
Got it. Okay. You are very active.
Very active.
Very active. Mm-hmm. Is she very active?
Very active.
Your co-host was like, I think
she's very active.
No, she's very active.
Am I active?
A scale of 1 to 10, active. And what are basing active on?
I would say at least a 9. Yeah.
At least a 9?
Yeah.
I'm active.
I've never heard her talk about Wise Label like that.
Zell, am I not active?
Kay, do you hear her talk about Wise Label? Do you hear her talking about Wise Label?
She doesn't talk about it much, y'all.
Yeah,
people be like, oh, I see your video.
And not only that, but when we go out, I'm saying let's do some videos.
Doing work?
Over people.
I do see the videos though. I do see the videos.
And I don't do everything on camera either. Like Trey just said, I pray for people and stuff like that. So I'm active. It's just
What's the end result of activity? Is there a goal in mind?
Yeah.
What's that?
For the end of this year,
Just period.
I want to have the biggest brand in the world. I want to replace Nike. I want to be the Nike for Christians.
With activity, hold on. Because you said you like the mission, but you don't really care about the clothes, but your major goal is based on being a big apparel brand.
Yeah.
You are confused.
Yeah, I need to do better with the clothes. I'm not going to lie.
Especially if that's the big goal.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have a big goal, and if it's not working out, we just say that we don't care about that part because it's not working out, or because we don't feel like working hard at it. But you just revealed that your big goal is to have this big brand. Mm-hmm. But the apparel, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I was actually telling my friends that maybe I should do more something in the media space because I'm very passionate about content creation.
Yes, I can see that.
So I'm thinking maybe I should do more, I don't know, something in the more media instead of clothes.
Are you dating?
I'm dating.
You got a joint out here?
Not right now. I'm not capped.
Cat? You got somebody?
This is about Wise Label.
Somebody out here
No.
in Atlanta? Back home? Are you dating anyone right now?
No.
At all? Nobody thinks you're dating them.
I'm not. No. I'm not dating nobody.
Are you talking to anybody? Is there anybody that you text on a regular basis?
It's a friend.
So you are talking to somebody.
But that's not talking in that way.
So you guys don't have any type of physical attraction to each other? How important is dating in your life?
Huh?
How important is dating in your life?
Do
you desire that compatibility?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
What do they have to do or be to you?
Man of God.
Okay.
That's number one. And attractive. That's number two. Attractive to me.
Okay.
And have a good personality. And I want somebody that has a good head on their shoulders, so smart. Yeah.
Nothing about money.
Because I'm still young. We're still young. So as long as they have something they're striving towards, that's important to me. They don't have to have, make six figures or nothing like that.
What about sex before marriage?
I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in it at all?
I don't think that should happen.
Is it not going to happen for you?
It's not going to happen.
That's good. You sure?
Positive.
Have you had a boyfriend before?
Yeah.
How was it? In that particular area? Like, what was the dynamic?
It was all right. I mean, I was young. It was when I was in high school.
You're still young. What are you? How old are you now?
20.
20. Gotcha. Oh, yeah. And where were you living?
Huh?
Where were you living
I
before
was
you?
in what?
Where were you living before you came to Atlanta?
North Carolina.
North
Then
Carolina.
I moved from Maryland to go to North Carolina here.
What part of North Carolina?
Charlotte.
Charlotte. You was in Charlotte. Atlanta's a different beast.
I know.
But you don't have like that desire like that, do you? Or do you just?
I do want to date.
I'm talking about like intimacy. Do you have that desire, or do you just suppress it? Because you know what's right.
No, I don't have that desire. I don't want it because I know what's gonna come after that.
That's
if
true.
I do that, and I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. So, and I don't want that. So
You will become the crazy that you've seen.
And I don't want that. So
Fight it.
for sure.
You're 20. You're 20 years old.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of 20-year-olds that said that when they were 20. Until you fall in love with somebody and you figure you're going to be together with them forever anyway.
Not happening.
No?
I think but I'm not gonna put myself in a predicament to fall to that.
It's not about putting yourself in a predicament. It's about being in a predicament.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Not happening.
I've just lived a lot, man. I've lived a lot. You feel me, Trey?
Trey don't believe in that.
No. What in the world? Are you a virgin?
No.
Are you a virgin?
That's not out for discussion right now. That's censored information.
Okay.
Trey thinks that
Oh no, this
Trey thinks that it'll be good to have a child young so that it could be your test child.
not test, but
So that when you have a real
A test child?
you gotta think about it. The way our minds are, we're more developed. So I feel as though we wouldn't make as many mistakes. We would make some mistakes, but we're more conscious of
Have
their
a baby now.
mental
Now
health.
when you have the real baby later.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's
you
crazy.
gotta have it young so you can have experience.
Have a practice baby
Not a practice baby, but when are you gonna learn? You don't do anything without learning.
when you have a baby.
Exactly. So whenever you have it, you have it.
He's saying have it young though, so you can have. So when
And
you have
plus y'all
another
grow
one,
up together.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
That is the most 20-year-old answer I've ever heard in my life.
When y'all grow up together, you know, you don't want to be pushing 70 and your child is 13. You can't even run after them.
I had my first child at 35.
That's still young.
that's not 20 young.
That's not 20.
But I'm not saying that I would want to have a child at this moment, but if it happens, it happens.
Have y'all talked about this on your podcast?
Having kids.
Just the conversation of sex. And for you all, it's more normal, it's more weird. Right? Like yeah, what?
Wait, what do you mean by weird?
No, I don't think so. Have you heard the songs these days? They be talking about it.
That's y'all generation.
Yeah.
You're saying it's more weird to get active?
It's no, just y'all be involved in other weird stuff. So at one point it was kind of taboo to even, okay, so let's say 15 years ago, people weren't really waving the gay flag. You got gay, you got transgender. Comedians would talk about gays all the time. Comedians weren't even talking about transgenders because it wasn't even a thing like that mainstream. There were people, but now, if someone were to say something about someone that's transgender, they cancel you. So the things we prefer to do sexually, it was maybe more traditional back then in my generation, and now it's like all holes, no holes barred. It's whatever. I'm talking about. It's people having sex with
You know how they
animals and
You know how
Yeah,
they
it's
say
true.
nothing new there's nothing new under the sun.
true.
So what if everything is just brought to the light now? What if everything has? There's a scripture in the Bible that talks about how it was a place that was so bad everyone was having sex with each other.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh yeah, Sodom and
there we
Gomorrah.
go.
Yeah.
And then this
It's worse now.
I think it's worse.
It's worse now, for sure. Even when they came to Lot's house, Lot was like, hey, like there was a crowd of people, and the angels came into Lot's house, and Lot was like, no. They was like, yo, send them angels out here. And Lot was like, nah, look, I'll give you my daughters.
Yeah.
And it was like, nah, let us get them boys.
Yeah.
Let us get them little boy angels you got in there. So I'm not saying that it's a new thing, but I'm saying as the world progressed, it became more and more normal and more accepted. And now there's an agenda being pushed on TV. And are you seeing the cartoons these days?
Yeah.
Cartoons are pushing an agenda now.
Yes.
People are getting mad at kids for saying, okay, boy clothes and girl clothes.
Yeah.
These are everybody clothes.
And like the
All inclusive.
bathrooms, and also
Sizes ain't everybody's.
Bruh.
and also perversion's getting pushed a lot more too.
Yeah, it's worse now
Yeah. It's
than it was back then.
really bad.
But I'm saying I just don't. Right now, when I was growing up, it wasn't an it wasn't an option necessarily. And I'm not saying that's, based on, whatever somebody's belief is, but it wasn't an option. It was an expectation that I would like women.
Yeah.
But now it's put in front of the child like, there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with that. You be who you want. And now the kid gets to pick and say, okay, well, let me have them both.
What do you instill in your children?
I instill in my children that my daughters should marry a man and my son should marry a woman. Period.
You feel as though they should respect the people?
I think they should respect all people, yeah. But I am not pandering to like, it's all okay, because I don't think it's okay. Not for my house and my belief system. So somebody else's belief, they can believe whatever you want. However you do it in your house, that's what you do in your house. I'm going to push a narrative in my house. And you can't force me to think that something's okay when in my belief, my personal religious belief.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But do you worry like that outside influence might influence your children?
Yes, I'm scared.
Like school and social media and stuff?
I'm scared because there's a narrative that's being pushed throughout the whole world that the Bible prophesies would be like this, but I can't be with my child every single day and try to safeguard. Look at the music. All the stuff that they see on TV. For us to see someone naked, we had to my friend had to creep into his parents' rooms and get a VHS tape of porn. And then we could watch it. Or we had to find a magazine somewhere. Yeah. Now it's on it's everybody's phone.
Disney.
I put more.
It's a world we're living in, man.
Yeah.
That's why I created my brand. That's why I want my brand to help kids, because I know the agenda that's being pushed.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you're going to have to push really, really hard, though. Especially fighting against a monster like this.
I know.
This is a David and Goliath type situation. And it's almost like you don't even have a slingshot. It's like bare hands. This is a fight. So my point is, if you really, really believe in it, there has to be something that moves you to really, really take action on a whole nother level. Not just creating content. Now it's not my mission in life to fight against the powers that be. That's not my thing. But if it's inside of you, then you have a responsibility.
Yeah. So you don't think creating content, you think I should do something more?
What do you think?
Yeah. There's some more I could do.
There's always more you could do.
I know it.
Just remember.
Public speaking, I could go to schools and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have a real mission, it has to be every day. How many days you think Martin Luther King took off? How many days you think Kobe Bryant took off?
0.
We really, really want. I'm up here every day. I'm not chilling and coasting and just relaxing. There are some goals that I have to hit. And I'm on it every day. That's why it's not just about me. It's why we're building out the Growing Pains podcast, and Donnie got her own podcast, and I'm trying to get other people's voices out into the world, because I can't just do it on my own.
Yeah.
I gotta pour into other people to go affect the world. And I just have to trust that you all will do the right thing with the power that you receive in a couple of years or so. Who knows? Out of 4 of y'all, it's a high possibility that one of you all goes AWOL, where the fame or the notoriety gets to you. And you start feeling yourself, and you start feeling like you're doing more than the rest of the Growing Pains podcast, and you want to go solo because someone's telling you, and sometimes it's a person in your ear. It's your own groupies that you have. somebody, this, if I had to bet, I would put money on it. One of you, like the lights and the notoriety and the arrogance is going to kill you. Not physically, but it may be the best thing for you. Go solo. I don't know. Cisco did it. He went solo. Beyonce went solo. It worked out for her. But it's damaging if you don't know, if you can't handle it.
Yeah.
Can you handle it?
I can handle it.
We'll see. Okay. If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more. Click it right now.